Hey guys, I'm Bradu, and it's day 42 of 100 days of sketch cards, though I'm not currently working on a sketch card. I've had a weird couple of days. I mentioned yesterday feeling pretty crummy, but a bigger issue is that I'm really having a struggle between. I think artists will be able to relate to this especially. I'm conflicted. I'm feeling both really frustrated and like artist block type thing, and at the same time really excited and I don't know, like there's this whole world out there for me that I can still learn about in terms of what I'm talking about specifically. I'm doing a pastel drawing right now, and it's the first time I've done a pastel like this, like full color kind of, in a long, long time. Oh, I guess I did one a year or two ago of hockey player Ben Scrivens, goalie. Um, but I'm doing this one a lot more like freehand, just kind of winging it by. I guess I'm. Well, I was gonna say I was approaching it more like a sketch card, but that's not true at all. Um, but what I mean by that is I usually on a larger drawing will grid it out to get things in the right place off the bat, and I didn't do that at all this time. I just went for it, and I think that that's good, that I'm doing that. I really wanted to do an art cast, by the way, but I'm not about to art cast while I'm doing this drawing. I'd have to. I actually tried to set it up so I could do that, but it's not going to happen. And this is what I have to be doing. I almost stopped and like did a sketch card so I could art cast it because I just feel like this is a discussion or conversation that could go for a while, as I talk it out. Um, so I decided to at least turn the camera on and do my daily video. I've got UFC to go check out tonight, and I almost bailed on that, but I think I'm going to stick it out and go. Like I said, just not feeling good, but I also don't want to be the guy who bails. And I want to see it, so we'll see. I was worried I wasn't going to get this piece done, and now in the last half hour or so, it really, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, like maybe it's pretty close. I felt like I wasn't even close at all. So let me show you what I'm working on. I think I gave a little quick sneak peek yesterday, but I hadn't started yet. Let's see if I can do this. So it points at it. I won't be able to see the camera, so I don't know if you guys will get a good look or not. There's the reference photo side by side. So that's what I'm working on right now. And like I said, I'm really frustrated. I've been watching some pastel vids of other artists doing it, and I feel like, especially with pastel, artists who are using pastel are like every mark they make looks great. You know what I mean? They just let's just go. All of a sudden, like there's a face there, and it looks cool even when it's just the first few marks, and then especially when they start doing the broad strokes. I don't want to be one of the pastel artists who treats it like super fine detailed. When I look those up and you see like pastel portrait artists, a lot of them almost have a colored pencil type look to it because the artists are so painstakingly rendering. And the look I like about pastel is not that. It's where pastel plays between having real tight, nice details some areas, but real loose and painterly in other areas. And so I really think I have a lot of room to improve and to learn, and I like pastel work more than I like any other type of work. When I'm talking about looking at other artists, I look at pastel stuff and I like it better than oil paintings or pencil drawings or whatever. So that's why I want to go into this. But at the same time, I feel not as confident, I guess, I'm experimenting while I'm doing it. I don't have a real style yet for my pastel stuff. I just noticed I keep glancing at it as I'm talking. I don't really have a set style that is mine. Like my sketch cards, I feel like I'm starting to get to where, I do it the same way each time. And when I do pastel, it's almost like I'm doing it completely different every time. I don't have a, in fact, this is the first time in probably 10 years that I've busted into these kind of pastels. Big old thick ones. I've been using pastel pencils on my last several pastel drawings. And this time I did kind of both. I went back and forth a little bit. But anyway, so I went through stages as I'm drawing this. I got up at like 5 a.m. Haven't been able to sleep much or sleep very well. So yesterday it really wasn't productive at all. I said I was going to try and be productive, and I got to doing some other things and just was never feeling up to drawing, and I was like, well, I'll just go to bed early, but I couldn't do that either. I couldn't seem to fall asleep even though I was tired. So I did get to bed fairly early, 10 or something for a Friday night. That's pretty darn early. But then I woke up at like 5, and I realized I wasn't going to be able to fall back asleep, so I popped up and started drawing this. And what is it now? 2? Almost 2, 1:30, something like that. So I've been up for a while, mostly working on this, but I wouldn't say I've put 7 hours into it or whatever that is, because I keep walking away from it, trying to decide if I want to do something else, coming back to it. So I keep doing like these little half-hour stints, I guess. I haven't got into it or got a rhythm. I'm the same way, I think, even just with my thoughts and speech right now. I'm just kind of all over the place. That's why I thought it might be good for an art cast. Because what I do remember, one of my first art cast, longer ones where I was drawing, I was feeling pretty crummy then too. And kind of frustrated. And I feel like it still went pretty well. Like that maybe even helped me out by doing the art cast while I was drawing. So like I said, I wanted to do that today, and I just couldn't quite figure it out or make it work. Maybe tomorrow still. And I still think I'm going to do some sketch card stuff later. It's not Friday the 13th anymore, but I didn't finish that Jason. So I started it then. So I'd still like to post that one up. And I'm thinking I might take it with me and draw while I'm over at my buddy's watching the UFC. Because I can just take my grayscale markers. I'm not going to take my whole marker gig and try and do a color one. And then that one is either going to be black and white or little splashes of color here and there, which is kind of what I was thinking of for Leatherface too. But I haven't got the color part yet. So pretty good day today after a mostly non-productive day yesterday. Like I said, I'm trying to get this pastel one done for tomorrow, and I didn't think I was going to, and now it looks to me like it's getting close enough. So assuming the guy is happy with it, then I'll probably just, maybe put a little more work into it, because it could use a lot more detail. But oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about with the pastel stuff. I have a really hard time getting fine details with pastel. It's like I just start, and it's because they're these big round sticks and clunky. So I want to be able to do that, but since I can't, I still feel like I'm just doing the best I can with what I can do. And by still getting the values and colors in the right places, it still can look good. It just won't have the sharp detail. And I think one of my next steps is to get a lot sharper with certain detail areas by doing the pastel pencils in those areas. And I did that a little bit here. I went back and forth like I was saying. But Getting a likeness is not as easy with pastels. If I was doing a face that covered up the whole sheet, that's different. But in this one, you know, it's two tiny little faces that could fit on a sketch card. Or, you know, anyway. Oh, that's probably rambly enough for today. Um, yeah, that's it. And I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with an art cast, but like I said, no promises. We'll see. Be back to sketch cards tomorrow, though. Oh, this is this. Here's another thing I want to say. Jeez. Well, and the back and forth of that I was just talking about, like feeling really frustrated and at the same time really excited, has me second guessing this already. But I've been toying with the idea for a while of just sticking with sketch cards for commissions, and I think I might have to do that, because even though this was fun and good for me to do, I don't know that I want the pressure of having to do a larger, like, pastel piece that somebody's going to be happy with when I'm experimenting more on them, if that makes sense. Like a sketch card, I feel confident that I can do a really good job. And with pastel, I'm still pretty confident it's going to come together in the end and I'm going to be happy with it, but it's definitely not the same. I second guess a lot, and you know, always wondering, should I keep going with more? And I guess when I compare my pastel, well, no, I was going to say when I compare my pastel stuff to my sketch cards, it's not as good, but actually I kind of like some of my pastel stuff better than some of my sketch card stuff. It's just that I feel more confident that I can do a good job in a timely manner and get the customer something they're going to be happy with if I'm working on a sketch card. And so I might just take a hiatus from any sort of larger commission work. We'll see. Just toying around with that idea. All right. I'll talk at you guys tomorrow.